Here we go. Hello. I cannot hear you, Jason.
I've been talking this whole time with my mic off. They're
What were
not
you
showing.
saying?
My mic is off.
What were
I
you
was
saying?
saying
Where's
that we
Jonathan?
are.
Where's Jonathan?
Yeah, I did say where's Jonathan.
I
Sorry
was
about that, Colton. I see you over there. I
I
made
was
some
only
coffee. Did you
wondering.
have something to eat?
Yes, I had
Did you eat
Cincinnati
something? What'd
chili.
you eat? Oh, chili. Chili's
Cincinnati
good.
chili is not your typical chili.
I don't know anything about Cincinnati chili.
It's like a spaghetti meat sauce Greek thing you put on top of it.
Well,
It's got
Colton
it's
said he
got
couldn't hear me, and he says hello. And Fernando says Laila Tov. Laila Tov, you normally say it's a goodbye. Like when someone's going to bed, you say Laila Tov. Or
good
you're not going
evening.
to see
What's
them
good
again for
evening?
tonight.
Erev tov.
Erev Tov. Erev Tov. Or you say, you would say something else. Like, hi, Manishma. Or something like that.
Colton understands
What's the skyline?
where it's at. That's the chili.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, what did you say goes on the chili? I didn't hear you.
What? Oh, it's like a meat sauce it's like a Greek thing. It's got like chocolate, nutmeg, cinnamon, but it's not sweet. And it's a
You
bunch
say
of
chocolate, I think sweet.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not sweet. It's got just a little bit of chocolate. Have you ever had mole sauce?
Yes, of course.
Kind of like mole sauce with meat. Put it on top.
All right, sounds nice.
And yellow cheddar, yes, a lot of yellow cheddar.
So it's not kosher. It's not kosher.
Well, you don't have to get it with cheese, but no, it has beef in it, so no, it's not.
Yeah. So beef and cheese don't go together in kashrut.
Right.
All right, sweet. Yeah, chocolate powder goes into mole. Like Jonathan said, it's not. It's less sweet than bitter. It's more a bitter sauce. I like it.
Yes, it is good.
Why say no? Why say no, Colton?
If you ever come visit Cincinnati, we should get some.
I do eat non-kosher. We should say that Jonathan and I are the two liberalist of the people on biblical nerdy biblical language majors.
I don't know if that's true.
We might be.
We are neck and neck with Henry's son. Well, when Henry's son first joined, everybody was all over him because he was so liberal. All those evangelicals were screaming.
I'm quiet about it. So anyway, I was trying to say when we started, but my mic was muted, that we are in exercise 12 and that this is an interesting point in the grammar because here he covers the imperfect forms, that is the yiktol or the future forms, and then along with it the imperatives, because the imperatives are basically you take the second person imperfect and you remove 12, the 12
right? Prefix. Is that what you said?
What?
Did you say 12?
Yes, and it's also on the screen, you can see.
Yeah, but I also need to be able to type.
Yes. But I mean, you could look at the screen and know that it's 12. We're going to see some future forms, which is something that we haven't seen before in this grammar. And what that does is that it prepares us to tackle the narrative past. The narrative past is what's normally called the Vav consecutive imperfect. And so it's built on the imperfect form. It's going to let us start to see the actual word order that you see in the Hebrew Bible in narrative. And also in poetry. It just happens to be what it is. All right, so number one, again, we have reversed the word order according to linguistic standards today, and we're not saying Diber Elohim, as it says in the grammar in the text itself. We're saying Elohim Diber El Moshe, Nevi'o, Panim El Panim. Elohim Diber. So God spoke. Elohim Diber. Diber is Piel of Davar. He spoke to Moses. His prophet is Navi. When you add the O ending, it becomes Nivio, face to face. Panim el panim, face to face. God spoke to Moses, his prophet, face to face. Seems pretty straightforward.
Yep. So mi ani umabet avi Ki eshmol ba'am hagadol.
Lo eshmol, emshol.
I'm sorry. I'm Hebrew dyslexic. Ki emshol ba'am hagadol hazeh va'anochi na'ar. This is Isaiah. Well, no, it's not really. Is it David?
I don't know who it is.
I think it's made up. I think he made up the sentence. Okay, so me is who? Who am I? I'll put the null copula in. And what is my father's house? That I, and I'll take this as a. Can we take it as a modal? That I should.
This is our first instance of a yiktol, and we're already interpreting it as a modal. That's nice.
Is that what Weingreen says? Does he cover that usage?
All I do is type up the exercises. I don't read his grammar.
That I should rule and bait marking the object. This great people.
But he does render the bet as over, rule over.
Okay.
That's how Weingreen renders it.
Over this.
You shouldn't. Why parentheses? It's really there. But
it can just mark the object. It can just mark the object, right?
Oh, so you're writing over in parentheses to say that it's optional.
Yes, right.
Okay, so you're using parentheses both for things that you're interpreting in.
So let's do this. Let's do brackets for this usage.
All right.
Is that satisfactory?
Sure.
Okay. Over this great people, and I would take the vav as a 4, but I would expect it to be key.
Not 4, but
or just
this would be. It would be a circumstantial participle in Greek, meaning even though.
But we don't have a participle.
Even though I am a young man.
But there is no participle.
I know.
In Greek, there is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it would be rendered. Like, you can use the vav to mean even though. Who am I and what is my father's house that I should rule over this great nation or this great people, even though I'm young? I'm a young man. Like, it has that, what's that grammatical feature where it's like oppositional? You know, it's
concessive.
Concessive.
Yeah.
Concessive sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right. And it comes out with the sense of even though this is the case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that would usually be expressed with a key. But anyway, it's fine.
It sounds good this way, even though. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3. בך בחרתי למלך על ישראל. Trying to slow down. ואתה תשפוט את עמי בצדק ובמשפט. Yeah, you concede the point, so it's concessive. Fantastic. I can't remember these grammatical words, you know. כי צדיק אנוכי, אדוני אלוהיך. All right, the Adonai Elohecha is apposition. So we would say the Becha is the object of Bacharti, because Bachar takes the object with a bet most of the time. So you, this is what I'm going to do, you, and it's emphatic, so I'm going to put in italics. You have I chosen. The I is the subject. That's why it's reversed here, inversed in English. You have I chosen for king or as king. This Jonathan likes to say it's a laminative product. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a product because it's a king, not something you produce. But
a laminative product is when you produce something, when you make something into something else.
I have chosen you as king over Israel. You could say that the lemelech could be to be.
Yes,
I chose you to be king over Israel.
Yep.
And you, this is again emphatic because ata is not necessary, because tishpot itself is already containing the t, which is ata. Tishpot, the t is ata. So if you add ata to it, then it becomes emphatic. You shall judge my people. My people. Judge is an expression that means to rule. The judges, the rulers of the people after the time of the conquest. You shall judge my people. You shall rule my people with righteousness, tzedek. Because we have mishpat. Mishpat is justice or righteousness, and tzedek is also justice or righteousness. So let's say first with justice, tzedek, and with righteousness. Both of them can mean both things. Mishpat normally refers to what is decided by a court, and it's the right way of behaving according to the law. And tzedek is more of a moral type of righteousness. It's what's the right thing to do if you were to think through things and come to a conclusion, not necessarily what's determined by the court. For tzaddik ani, I am righteous. And then we have this apposition, and I'm going to move it over here and say, I, the Lord, I, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, your God, am righteous. Altogether, you have I chosen as king over Israel, and you shall judge. Sorry, I missed the shall. Shall is the future. Tishpot, you shall judge my people with justice and with righteousness, for I, the Lord your God, am righteous. Any concessions, comments, or criticisms?
Concessions. I see what you did there. Now, Jason, this next sentence is weird. I don't know exactly what to do with this. Mishpat tzedek yehyeh lachem ba'aretz, asher anochi noten lachem. Mishpat tzedek. Could you just?
Well, in this case, mishpat doesn't mean righteousness. It means something else.
Was it like judgment? Righteous judgment? Righteous judgment. The makef was throwing me.
I don't know if Weingreen has covered, because I'm not reading the grammar. I've not really lifted up this grammar for learning something in many, many years. But it should be known that tzedek is a common noun that's used adjectively by joining it in constructive word in front of it.
Yeah, I did not
know
that.
So mishpat tzedek would be a righteous judgment.
And then, so asher, I'll do asher as because, I guess.
No, it's defined. It's modifying the land. Which land is it?
Oh,
it's the land that I am giving you.
And we talked about how participles can have something sort of like, what do they call that? Which I am about to give you is an option. You could also do I am giving you. That's fine. Which I am about to give you. Yeah, asher anochi noten lachem. I had never seen the mishpat tzedek construction before.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But I would change the will be yours to you will have. You will have righteous judgment in the land. Yeh lachem means you will have. It will be to you. You will have. But
you could say if silver is to you, you could say you. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep. Yeah, so you.
But it literally means you will have righteous judgment or you have just judgment. But you don't have to be literal. You basically say you will carry out righteous judgment or something like that. Like the idea is that you're not going to have unrighteous judgment, which is judgment that is perverted. By bribes and other things that would cause a judge to overlook what is the right thing to do in a courtroom. Because judges can be persuaded to do things that are incorrect.
Mm-hmm. Next one.
All right, number 5. Hineni. Judgment of righteousness. That's literally true. Judgment of righteousness means righteous judgment. Like city of the city of the holiness means the holy city.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 5. Hineni. Hineni is hine with ani together. Hineni. Behold, I. Okay. Hineni sholeach otcha el anshei ha'ir hazot. Okay, behold, I am sending, or I am about to send you, otcha, unto or to the people of this city. Anshei ha'ir hazot. Ha'ir hazot, the city. Anshei, the people of. And I know, ani yadati, I, that's emphatic. I know, lo yishme'u el dvarecha. Lo yishme'u el dvarecha. That, and this is talking about the substance of the knowledge, the content of the knowing. I know that they, this yishme'u, the u ending in the future means they. Shema is the root. Yishme'u, they will not hear. Or in this case, we're going to say listen to. They will not listen to your words. Devarecha. Devarecha. Dvarai, my words. Dvarecha, dvaraich, dvarav, dvareha.
My cat came to visit me.
I love cats.
I know, you're a cat guy.
Yes.
Shmor. So the imperative based on the imperfect form, minus the preformative. Shmor et yom hashavat, Shabbat, ki kadosh hayom. That shouldn't be.
I changed it to away from patach because we're not reading it because it naturally would not be pointed with patach. The patach is because it belongs to Adonai.
Yeah, so I'll say Ladonai just because Elohecha. So remember, what do you remember at Yom HaShabbat, the Sabbath day? Ki kadosh hayom Ladonai, because the day is holy to the Lord your God. Well, we've been doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, but because it's got a metathesis of the U and A. The actual Ten Commandments do not say shmor. Like they don't say keep.
Yeah.
They say shamor. Shamor et yom ha-shabbat lekadesho. And when it does that, it is using it as an infinitive absolute, and it doesn't mean keep the Sabbath day to make it holy. It means carefully sanctify the Sabbath day. Something like that. But many times when you have shamor and or shamar and it goes with another verb, it means to carefully do something. To do it like you're watching it, like you're doing it carefully. Zichru. Zichru is from tizkeru. The verb is zachar, remember. Tizkor, you will remember. Tizkeru, zichru. Because we have two shvas. Whenever you drop the T, you have two shvas side by side. The second one becomes, the second one is obviously already a vocal shva, and the one in front of it has to convert to chirik, the law of shva, the rule of shva. Zichru et Torat Adonai, asher natan lachem al har Sinai, biyad Moshe. Biyad, by the hand of. Remember, this is an imperative. Zichru, it's plural. The singular would be zchor. Zchor. Like zchor. Okay? Zchor. Zchor. That's a singular. Remember. So remember the Torah of God, that is God's Torah or instruction, his law, which Natan has the subject that's just been discussed, that is Yud Heh Vav Heh, which he gave to you upon Mount, we're going to say Mount Sinai, by the hand of Moses. Note that by the hand of is definite because Moses itself is a proper name, which is definite. Okay, any issues or questions? Anytime you guys see something that we say or we move too fast, or because like a lot of these things, even though these are not direct verses from the Bible, they're very similar to things that are in the Bible. So we kind of are just used to them. And so if we don't stop and explain something, it's probably because to us it's second nature. But it would be at any point if there's confusion or something that doesn't make sense, as long as it's not like things that you should have learned basically by going over the grammar, which we will explain as clearly as we can, but it's something that we should expect you to learn from the grammar as best you can. Unless it's not clear or problematic, please ask questions. Please, please, please. We want to answer. We want to help you. We're doing this not just for the fun of seeing cats on screen, which we have to make that cat big just a second because that's lovely. Look at that creature. Look at it. It's amazing. Now I'm distracted. This is a flirkin.
It's a big ass.
A flirkin. Oh, don't say that word. Good Lord. It's a big cat.
It's a big cat.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, next one. Tzedek.
Oh,
Tzedek.
no, because it's not the Yud Heh Vav Heh. I wrote originally the law of, or the Torah of.
Right.
Remove the word the.
Yeah, I had to show off my kitten.
My cat is like, it's the same type, but with gray colors. You know where they have the M on the forehead? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine. Her name is Kat, with a K.
That's the name?
Her name is Kat with a K.
Yes, like Catherine, but Kat.
Because her sister's name, we adopted two. I adopted one and my roommate adopted one. And her sister's name was Doja. So we had Doja and Kat.
What does
Doja Cat?
What does Doja
Doja
mean?
Cat is a singer. She's a performer.
Oh, Doja Cat. Right.
Yeah. But she didn't want to keep hers.
That's
so
a lot more clever. That's a lot more
clever. So we got rid of the sister after a while, but I kept mine.
I'm glad.
And her name is Kat. And I love her very much.
Remember I told you, I was like, you're not going to be able to get rid of that one. And you didn't.
No.
All right. So Tzedek Tir Dov. So righteousness. And I'll do that with an exclamation. Pursue righteousness, even though we would expect.
How about you shall pursue?
Yeah, you shall pursue righteousness. We would expect an object marker there, but you don't have to have one.
No, you wouldn't. It's not definite.
Because I am righteous.
Mm-hmm. You would expect an object marker if it were definite.
Yeah, if it's definite, but it's not definite, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, right. Here we got the word karat. Any questions about that one? You guys are so quiet. I've never seen a live stream audience that doesn't write anything.
Yes, you have.
Like
it's
sometimes people explode.
People don't care.
People explode the messages.
They don't care about these translation sentences.
Maybe they do. Maybe they love it.
Tichrot.
Lo tichrot brit im ha'amim ha'ele. Okay. Colton, you are writing up a storm, brother.
You want to go out, Frankie? Frankie wanted to go
Lo tichrot brit im ha'amim ha'ele ki et hara be'enai asu. Okay, so this is you shall not. It's giving again a prohibition that applies to everybody and not just to one person that you're talking to. But You shall not, and it says cut. When you have cut with a covenant, you say make a covenant. You shall not make a covenant with these peoples, these nations, these people groups. Why? Because, or for, the verb is delayed until the end. The object is fronted. For what is evil in my eyes have they done. This is literally the word order, but we could change that because they have done what is evil, that is the evil. They have done the evil in my eyes, meaning in my sight or in my opinion, what I think is evil. They have done what I deem to be evil.
Mm-hmm. So here then, Lidfu acharei ha'anashim ki yatzeu min ha'ir hamidbara. So here, like Jason was talking about, we have the rule of Shiva. When you have two consecutive Shivas, the first one will lengthen. So instead of Lidfu, we have Lidfu. So pursue, and this is after.
You could say chase after.
Oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
leave,
Chase,
and then leave after.
Chase.
You don't know if it's to chase or to pursue.
Acharei men. Chase after
The men.
Oh wait. Anashim.
Acharei ha'anashim.
The men. Yeah. Because they, or for, you could do that too, have gone. My screen keeps moving. Because they have gone from they have gone out would be better from the city Hamidbara, from the city towards the desert with the locative hay on the end, and you have Hamidbara because it's in pause, but I think it does that with the locative hay, doesn't it? It shifts the back. Yeah. All right.
Hamidbara to the desert. Great, to the wilderness. They run off into they left the city toward the
wilderness might be better.
American Southern Translation. You shall not associate with these heathen, because they's misbehaving.
The AST.
Oh, that's a comment from Colton for those who are watching afterwards and can't see the live chat. American Southern Translation. You shall not associate with these heathen because they are misbehaving. I would have said they's misbehaving. That's just me.
Misbehaving. Yeah, you're using your Missourian dialect. Very good.
Yeah. All right, number 11. Al tishlechu. Okay, this is really how you give a prohibition. Talking to a single person, don't do it, or to a group of people, don't do it. Al tishlechu malachim el paro. Okay, let's go ahead and just take that. Al tishlechu malachim el paro. Do not send. Lishloach, to send. Do not send angels. No, do not send messengers, because we don't send angels. Angels come from heaven. And this is talking about people being sent unto or to Pharaoh. I always get confused if Pharaoh is O-A-H or A-O-H. I just don't know.
A-O-H. Yep.
Because he lo b'Mitzrayim Yeshuat Yisrael. Not in Egypt is the deliverance of Israel. Generally, the word Yeshua, although certain religious groups want to translate it as salvation, because salvation is a word that is very meaningful to them, normally the word refers to deliverance, and that's how we should translate it. But just know that deliverance and salvation are the same word in Hebrew, Yeshua. And it is not the feminine of the name Yeshua. Yeshua is a name, and Yeshua is a noun. There is also the form with the tav prefix, Teshua, which we could say with modern pronunciation, Chua.
It took me a long time to figure out when we were taking rabbinic literature, it took me a long time to figure out what truma was. Truma. And then I read it. I was like, oh, truma.
Yeah, we don't say teru, it's tru. Truma.
Yeah.
So we don't say teshu, we say chu.
Although they do say
and chuva.
They do say tefillah service. Tefillah. Are you coming to tefillah?
We don't. We say tefillah.
Tefillah, yeah.
Yeah, tefillah.
It's the Americanized Jew pronunciation.
It's Americanized Hebrew.
Yeah. Were you talking to me when I say Ray? Don't say that. You sound like a hick.
Yes, indeed, they went out and they have gone out are the same. Remember that Hebrew doesn't distinguish between past and past perfect and present perfect. They all have the same form. There's only the katal, for the past generally, and for the habitual past you could use iktol. They would go, or they used to go.
You could definitely just say they went out if you want, but since it's giving a reason, I think had gone maybe works a little bit better in English.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Chase after the men, for they went out of the city, they have gone. Like have gone in English is because it has the present state is the problem. They left, yes, but the problem is that they're not here. So it's a perfect idea in English that they have gone, so they're not here, so chase them, you know?
Yeah.
Greek really makes something of that, the present state of having done something, the perfect tense. Or at least people who teach grammar in Greek really stress that, even though I don't know if it's as necessary to stress that as they think.
I understand now why you wanted me to go through these sentences. This next one's weird. Oy lachem
I always want you to go over them.
Oy lachem harodufim et hatzadik v'yirat Adonai en bachem. So, oy is like an exclamation, right? Like
we say whoa.
Woe
to you.
That's
oy lachem.
That's hoy. Is oy the same?
Oy. And we can say oy vavoy lachem. That's if you know oy vavoy. It's
well, that makes
from Yiddish.
Woe to you, pursuers of righteousness.
Woe to you who chase the righteous.
Who chase
the righteous? No, they're persecute. Who persecute? Woe to you who persecute the righteous. The word lirdof can also mean persecute. You chase them. You persecute.
I think that sounds good. I'll change it. Persecute. I did not know that. Persecute the righteous. V'yirat Adonai ein bachem. I'll take the vav as because, or just a clause marker. The fear of Yahweh is not in you.
Or you could say there is no fear of God in you or among you.
Yep.
You who persecute the righteous, you don't fear God.
Right.
There is no fear of God among you. When you have the bet preposition with plural, it can mean among. All right, number 13. I think, if we're ready, the hey on the rodfim, hey on a participle is relative.
Usually,
you who chase, the ones chasing.
Unless it
woe to you, the ones chasing the righteous.
Unless it comes at the beginning of a clause, like Harold the Fim, the righteous ones are seeing. Harold the Fim or something. Yeah.
Ro'im.
Ro'im, not ro'eh. Haradof.
All right. Ma ben adam ki tizkor oto. Okay. So this is obviously a modal function of the yiktol. Why do I say obviously? Let's think of this.
Or maybe we should use the Cook and Homesteadian nomenclature, the irreal. But I like modal too. It's essentially the same. Yep. It's the same.
What is a son of man? That is what is a member of the human race? What is a human? That you will remember him. What is a son of man that you will remember him? That sounds funny.
That you would remember him.
I'm trying to get to why this is obviously modal. I'm trying to explain why it's obvious, why you feel.
Yeah. I gotcha.
You will remember him puts it in the future. You will remember him. You will. Yeah, you will. But this is not saying you will remember him. You definitely will. I know you will. You won't forget him. That's just how it is. He's a very impressive person. He's a very impressive person, and I know that you'll remember him.
I know.
It's not saying that. It's like, what is a son of man? What is he? And so the modality comes in that you should remember him, or that you would remember him.
I don't know if he's
or that you might remember him.
I'm sorry, Jason.
The modality is this change between will to should, would, might, could, can. Modality, this is part and parcel of the yiktol form, this idea of modality. So when you see yiktol or the katal, because the katal is yiktol that's placed at the beginning of a phrase generally, when you see either one of them, you should try to, first of all, read it as a future and then say, does that really make sense? Should it really be a future, or is it a conditional?
Well,
is it, there are lots of options with Hebrew verbs because we're limited to yiktol, vayiktol, katal, vekatal, and participle when we're not dealing with like jussives and volitionals specifically. So this is what we're limited to, which means they have to play a lot of functions.
So all of this said, as just introducing you to the verbs, if you were a first semester Hebrew student and you put will for everything, I wouldn't care. I mean, that's how we were taught in first semester Hebrew, just to default to that. And then once you get into second or third or fourth semester, then you start fine tuning your skills with syntax. So
I think we just used the future when we learned it in first year Hebrew.
Yep.
You should just know what's going on inside of our minds when we're trying to deal with, how do you translate these things in the correct way and not in a glossing way. Gloss refers to, Jonathan uses gloss in a different way than I do. Jonathan uses gloss to mean an insertion into the text.
Or a definition.
I believe.
Yeah.
Gloss generally means a simple definition, a definition that doesn't cover all uses. It's just a simple translation or simple definition.
Well, when I talk about dictionaries and lexica, that's what that is. But when I talk about like composition, a gloss is anything that you stick in to explain something, to make it more clear. You should read a history of religion in ancient Israel by... Oh, it's a very well-known book.
Okay, so I would assume that an example of gloss in that sense would be John chapter. I don't remember what chapter it is. The one with the pool of Bethesda, where the angel would come and gloss, Gloss, that the angel would come and stir the pool, and whoever was the first one into the water would be healed.
That's a big ass gloss.
Stop using that word, Jonathan. I'm going to take you off the screen.
I'm sorry.
Stop cursing. You're not allowed to curse.
Colton says if it's over 10 minutes, it shouldn't be a problem.
No, it is a problem. Don't do it.
All right. Jason laying the smackdown on my candy rear end.
Yes. Rear end is fine because it's not an appropriate word.
Right.
Great. So I hope that made things kind of clear. It really is a nebulous topic, and there is a lot of disagreement all over the place. We are back. I didn't know we went anywhere. We've been here.
We didn't go anywhere.
Jonathan, go 14.
All right. So we need to hurry up because we have 20 minutes. All right. Imadu, same thing. 2 consecutive shavas, although it would be Amadu usually. But since you
Amdu is the past tense.
Amadu, well,
This is
no. I mean a composite shava with under a guttural, but a shava is a shava. So 2 successive shavas, and it makes the first one a hirik again. So imdu lifnei Adonai b'yir'ah v'ivdu oto be'emet. So third, second masculine.
Amod.
It had to be a second masculine plural, right?
Mhm.
Stand before Adonai b'yir'ah, in fear. V'ivdu do.
This is not Aramaic. Aramaic avad is
wait.
and Hebrew avad is
Avad
serve.
Serve. Sorry, I'm blending my languages. Serve him in truth, or with truth, maybe, but in truth. Yep.
All right, great. Stand before the Lord in fear and serve him in truth. La'avod is to work, right? You work something, you work the field, you work a certain job or whatever, but when it is a deity, you serve the deity. You could also use it la'avod et hamelech, you serve the king. There's an explicit word for serve, which is the piel l'sharet, sheret, but you're not going to learn the piel for a little while. So.
Oh, I see what Radar is saying. You guys are back. Yes, we have 3 consecutive sessions with a little break in between. We
go until 3:30 in the morning.
Yes, we do the Joshua reading, then we take a half-hour break, then we work through the Weingreen exercises in English, and then for the select few patrons, we do the English to Hebrew exercises.
Yes.
So that's why we are in fact back. Yes. Also, glad to know that you're subscribed. Good to know.
And Radar is actually giving me advice on different things. Like he gave me advice on choosing a microphone and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so because he's like a professional streamer, that guy. 15. Lo yiyu lecha Elohim acherim lefanai. There's actually lefanai.
Go a little bit slower.
Well, I just wanted to say that the word lefanai is changed here. This is from the 10 Commandments. The last word lefanai is not what's written in the 10 Commandments. It's al panai. But lefanai makes better sense because it's not complex.
Right.
So lo yiyu lecha Elohim acherim, other gods, lefanai. Lo yeh lecha. The actual 10 Commandments reads lo yeh lecha Elohim acherim al panai. So it's 2 changes. The verb is changed from singular to plural, and the prepositional phrase is changed from lefanai to al panai. But we're going to translate it as it is. What that means here is that yiyu Elohim acherim is other deities, but in the actual 10 Commandments, lo yeh lecha Elohim acherim, it literally, like if you're going by literally what it says you won't have another god, another patron deity. And the word is plural, Elohim acherim, but the verb is singular, just like God, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. You will not have other deities, other gods, before me, in my presence, lefanai, in my presence, in my face.
Yep.
But literally, like the 10 Commandments, it reads differently. So when it says Yihiyeh is the future, he will be, it's singular. Elohim, when it has a singular verb, is talking about a patron deity, like a major god, not just little idols, but it's saying instead of God, you won't worship Chemosh, the god of Moab, or Baal. You won't have a god instead of Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. All right, number 6.
I have a question.
Just like the next verse where Elohim karat is singular and Elohim is plural.
Yes. So Elohim karat lifnechem et me hanahar. Or maybe might be hanahar if it was in the text.
No.
So God cut or formed covenant.
No, there's no covenant. There's no covenant. Wait,
karat. Oh, yeah, God. Karat.
What did he cut? He cut the waters of the river. So what's it mean? He cut them. He cut them off.
He did cut. Yeah.
He cut off.
The waters, or from before you, or cut off before you. Before, I'll put all of you because you can easily catch the second masculine plural part. The what did he cut off? Et me hanahar, the waters of the river. So you can also turn that around. God,
when you put all of you, you have to wonder, like, what's the difference in all of you, like atem, and all of you kulchem.
That's
kulchem means all of you.
That's more proper, but I'm just putting it into English so you can catch the distinguish between the second masculine.
So instead of all of you, which sounds like really using the word kol.
Okay, fine, y'all.
Why not you all? You all or y'all, but not all of you, because once you say all of you, then you're actually having the word all as a substantive. You know?
All right, next one.
I am such a weird stickler. I tell you what.
You are.
Anochi.
But you are a fine. You are a fine tweaker.
Tweaker. I don't do drugs.
Not toker.
I think a tweaker is someone who uses methamphetamines.
Oh, that might be true. I'm not familiar with that culture.
17. Anochi sholeach et malachi. Malachi, my malach. Anochi sholech et malachi lifneichem. Vehu, המלאך, ישמור אתכם בדרך אשר אתם הולכים. Okay, so this is I, like God, I am sending, or I am going to send, I'm about to send my angel. This time we're going to say angel, because it's not a person that's a messenger going to deliver a message to someone.
Yeah, but it's also it's not an angelos either. Because that's
angelos is both messenger and angel, and malach is both messenger and angel, depending on it. But I think Heisen is that Heisner? He argued something about
Heiser
about the meaning. Michael Heiser, who passed away recently. Yeah,
it was very sad. He did some popular theology, but they were great books. I read one.
He didn't like the word angel, but I think it's appropriate because
I don't like the word angel either, because angel was developed by the Greeks, not the Hebrews. Well, the concept of angels.
That's like saying that we shouldn't say what's a word that we get from Latin? A word that we normally use in English that came from Latin. We shouldn't use it because it came from Latin.
But English is
angel is an English word. Angel is an English word that refers to a divine messenger.
Angelos.
There's no reason not to use it. I'm sending my angel before you. There's no reason not to use it because it in English refers to a divine messenger. That's what it means.
Because when people think of angels, they think of lovely ladies with wings that fly all over the place.
No, I don't. I've never thought that.
Well,
I'm sending my angel before you, and he will keep you, or he will protect you on the way, on the way, which you are going. So instead of which you are going, we're probably going to say where you are going, because it's a place, right? He'll protect you on the way where you're going, or the way that you are taking.
It can mean which, where, whenever, or wherever, or that, or who. Yeah. So
how about we say the way that you are traveling? I think that's better English.
Could do that. Yep. Holachim. Shiftu hashamayim veni uven ami ki ein tzadik ba'aretz. So judge, O heavens, Well, we can just put that there. Oh heavens. Between me and between my people. Or you can say, well, you don't have to have this twice either. But it's in the Hebrew. It's like God separated vein ha'or uvein ha'choshech, between the light and between the darkness. It's a common Hebrew expression. Between and between my people. Ki en tzaddik. For there is no righteous person. Take that as a substantive adjective. No righteous person in the land.
Mm-hmm.
Any complaints?
All right. Perfect.
Cool.
Number 19. Bayomahu, on that day. Hahu is that one. On that day. People don't say that today in modern Hebrew. Bayomahu. Bayomahu, maybe that is a fixed expression. They do, but they don't use hahu as a...
How would they say it?
They would say bayomahu. That's right. They would say that because that's a frozen expression. But normally hahu is not used for that. For that, you just say hazeh. Hazeh is this and that. They don't have the distinction between near and far demonstratives in modern Hebrew.
Can't yom take? Can it be also hahi? Can it be both?
No. Yom is only masculine.
What am I thinking of? Lila hahi. Nope, that's masculine too. What am I thinking of?
I don't know. Ba'etahi.
Yes, that's it.
Bayomahu eshpot et ha'ir harisha'a hazot. Wow, I'm using a lot of haze. I'm saying ha'ir harisha'a hazot. I'm like,
it's good for our
because it's for a beginning class. Yes.
Yes.
Bayom hahu, I will judge that or this. The zot is this one. Ha'ir harisha'a hazot. The city, the wicked, the this wicked city. The city, the wicked, the this. The enba mishpat, for there is no justice. Mishpat is justice or judgment in it. The city doesn't have any justice in it, so he's got to judge it.
If you're Rob Homestead, you would say the city, which is wicked, which is this. Take all those days as relatives, which, I mean, that's weird. I always thought that was strange, but that's how they do it. That's how they explain the function of the article as relatives.
In Greek, I know that the article was originally a relative pronoun. Like if you study Homeric Greek, the article is normally used as a relative pronoun, but in Attic it had already turned into a definite article and not a relative pronoun, and I think that's the case also in Hebrew, that it started out as a relative and it became a definite article, and we should not translate all of them as relatives, but sometimes, like when it's attached to a participle, it would become necessary.
Let's read Homestead's dissertation sometime together. That'd be fun. Every single relative clause in the Hebrew Bible analyzed. It's like 1,000 pages.
Sounds thrilling.
Yes, I know. I hope he enjoyed it. I certainly would not. So, mishpati tzedek v'emet. My judgment is righteous and true. I would take those.
That is what it means. But it
righteousness and truth.
Truer. I can't believe you deleted the entire word righteous to add ness on the end of it.
Well, what do you want me to? It's just as quick to
just
do
add
that.
Ness.
It's just as
so
quick.
My judgment is righteousness and truth is literally what it says, but it means what you said.
Yes.
My judgment is righteous and truth.
It's just as quick to do that as it is to take the mouse and click somewhere. So it doesn't really matter.
Colton's like, finally that came out. It happened at last. Number 21. Oy lahem ha'omrim lama tikreu b'shem Adonai. So we said before, woe to you, but this is woe to them. The ones saying. Ha-omrim. Okay, so literally what we're going to say in English, because this is
The
not...
ones, woe to the ones who say.
Woe to those who say.
Those who say, yep.
Why should you, not why will you call on the name of the Lord, but why should you call on the name of the Tevafeh? Why should you call on his name? Why would you? This is the modal sense of the verb. Tikreu, literally, you shall call. Why shall you call on the name? But when it's asking it, it's asking for a reason. Why would you? Why should you? Yeah. So again, it's the modal sense of the Yiktor. All right. So we finished 21 translation exercises in this section of Weingreen's book, and we're going to go on to the English to Hebrew section for those who are interested in joining us from Patreon.
And we will do that immediately, correct?
I did not put the links up. I think they might be up. Are they up? I don't think so. So I will put them up now for those who are on Patreon and would like to join us. It will take me 2 minutes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We will see you later. On
Yes.
Yisrael Chai. See you in 5 minutes or less.
Yes. Peace.
Bye, guys.